What's happening, guys? This is Tattoo Table Talk, and I'm here with the Tony way.
Or no way, baby. Let's get into it.
All right, folks. I'm here with my boy, Antonio, aka Tony, Little Tony, the Tony way.
Or no way.
Or no way, baby. All right, so this young man has a very positive presence on social media that I have been able to follow for a little while. And I was fortunate enough to meet him as well outside of social media, get to cut it up with him, and brought him on the show because I think he has a cool story. So first, man, we're gonna talk about this tattoo. So Tony obviously serves up some of the dankest sandwiches in downtown Pittsburgh, and so we are doing a little crossed spatula tattoo, and you know, a big part of what his vocation is just serving. He loves to bring people in to the shop, serve up really good food, and you know, spread positivity, right? So cool, right on, man. Let's get into this, and I think we're gonna start by doing a little icebreaker. First of all, Tony, thanks for coming on.
No problem.
Usually icebreaker, we do first tattoo experience. So tell me a little bit about what was your first tattoo experience like? Like, what'd you get? How old were you?
I can do that. So I was 14 years old whenever I got my first tattoo. Me and my buddies were hanging out at my house, having probably too much of a good time.
14, my man was young, started young.
And my buddy's family actually owned a tattoo shop, and we all thought it would be a good idea to go get some tattoos. Nice. And we got our parents' consent, maybe.
Baby.
And yeah, we went down to the shop, and we I was like, what did I end up getting? Oh, and I got I guess in the phase of my life I was in, I ended up getting a broken heart behind my ear right here.
You got the broken heart for the first tattoo.
This side.
No, it's that side. It's that side. Nice.
Side.
All right, so you started with the tattoo scene young. I know from the conversations we've had and also just following you on social media that you come from a big Italian family, right? That's a big part of your life, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about where you grew up, what it was like being part of that environment, big Italian family, and how it kind of shaped you.
Yeah, so originally my mom is from the Hill District, and she moved out to Monroeville, and then my dad has always been from Mount Lebanon, and then I grew up in Canonsburg, Washington area in general.
Okay.
And on my dad's side, I got 17 first cousins, and on my mom's side, I got 12 first cousins. So it was always a big feast every week, you know, looking forward to Sunday dinners every single Sunday. I remember just as like a young kid that was like, it didn't matter what the week had ahead. I was always ready for Sunday dinner, and it wasn't even necessarily about a bowl of pasta or any of that. It was more just the fact of getting together with the family and being around all of them. I think I was the youngest of the 17 first cousins on my dad's side, so it was kind of I was like very influenced by the older cousins around me, and not to mention there was only 2 girls on my dad's side, and 15 of us were boys. So I was super influenced by my older cousins, and you know, I was always that really young kid who just wanted to be like the older guys, and you know, I just loved the scene of the Italian culture and what it was to me and my family, and what it really was to us. I think was just about love and just like sticking together
And family, bringing everybody together.
Yeah.
Dude, you know, the first time I had this conversation and got to know Tony, I related so much because I'm the youngest of 6, big Italian family, and I have like on my dad's side, which is the Italian side, I have like 26 first cousins. So like big, and I'm the youngest. I have one cousin that's like around my age, same grade, but same exact thing, bro. Every single family function, every holiday, I was always like trying to be cooler or older than I was, you know? Cause like they all had these like built-in best friends.
Yep.
Literally there were generations of my older siblings, like my closest sibling is 6 years older than me. And they would have like 5 of them in the same grade in school together or whatever, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dude, that's fucking sick. Like I missed out on all that, you know? So there was a little bit of like, would you say you can relate to this? For me, I was like, damn, like a little bit of it was like that lonely childhood where I'm like, I was born too late. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I felt like that.
Not necessarily that, but also the fact that like being the youngest, like my brothers are 5 and 6 years older than me. So like, I feel like I was kind of just like the last kid, and I was like, they're like, all right, we're just gonna let him have a little fun.
Yeah.
Because like they're worn out. I feel like, you know, not just my parents, my aunts, and everyone's a little worn out. But you know, I don't know. I did.
You got away with a lot, bro.
I got away with a lot. I did. I got away with a lot, and I was taught a lot of bad words and everything. It's like as a 5, 6-year-old. But everyone, like, when I did it, it was funny, you know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
They were older when they're growing up, that they're getting reprimanded. I wasn't.
Right.
And I had a cousin, like, 9 months away from me, so that was also, like, that. Me and him were, like, what do you call that, Lilo and Stitch or whatever. Like, we always were together. But we had the same mission as, like, little kids. Like, you're not going to tell us what to do.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's funny. Like, I would say... I definitely found myself, like all my siblings, my older siblings, bro, to this day, like we laugh about it, and it's great that I can laugh about it now, but like they were very buttoned up, like went through school, like got good grades, like played sports, like all the stuff that I ended up like kind of not doing as well with, you know what I mean? Like I did well in school, but I guess going back to your point, I really got away with way too much at a young age too. And that kind of set me down a path, you know, I had to learn a lot of shit, brother, you know? So let me ask you this. Before we get into like later years, did you, growing up in the big Italian family, like was cooking and food like always a big part of your culture? Like when you guys got together, I saw like a video you guys were making sausage, like that kind of stuff. Like,
so like as a real young kid, like cooking and food was 100% a big part of like my family's thing. And like my mom was a culinary chef. She went to culinary school in Tuscany.
No way.
And like, you know, Nana on both sides, Nana and Nonals on both sides, cooking all the time. Well, Nana's cooking all the time. But like for me specifically, like no, I just sat at the table and ate.
Yeah, you were just yeah.
I just sat at the table and ate. But yeah, food.
Did you help like make shit like that? Like
not as like a kid.
No? Okay. Because I remember like my big thing was like we would make my nunnies bread. I wasn't trusted to do any of the hard shit. But when I was a little kid, like we got pictures of me like rolling out like kneading the bread. I was, you know, it was just probably. Yeah, for cute pictures, but you know,
stuff like that, like yeah, a little bit, but no, not for the most part. No, I wasn't like involved in the actual cooking of anything.
But
as like a kid, like maybe in the teens, I definitely started helping my mom with like when I was a teen, I started helping my mom with her pasta sauce, and I actually would run around my high school and around the area I lived in and sell my mom's pasta sauce.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You were trapping the sauce, dude. Yeah. Let's go, bro. That's actually so fire. Okay, so let's get into those years a little bit more. Like, you know, you're going through school. What were you into growing up, man?
Dude, I was a misfit. I was a bad kid growing up, honestly. I don't know. At like what point in my life, like it all had to do with me, and I was a super selfish, self-centered person, but at the same time I had a big heart always, and like I cared about people so much. But like growing up, I always found the groups of people that, you know, were into the things that we're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And like you know, I would pour my heart out to people like that.
Yep.
And like, you know, I definitely found myself hanging around those types of groups and those types of people. But by any means, like no one influenced me. I always made the decision to do the things I did in my life. But yeah, I would say like partying and, you know.
At a young age, you were getting
Yeah.
into shit, right?
13, 14 years old, yeah.
I gotta say too, like one of the experiences that I relate to, like I don't know how your older brothers were if they never went down that path, but like my siblings, they were not. But I think at some point in my life, like I can remember this now, looking back on it, I was like 14 or 15, and I just remember being like, you know what, like I could just continue to kind of just get fucked with, or I could just be that dude. I could just go hang out with those kids and do all the bad shit, and then just be like the bad, you know what I mean? Like I was like, that's attractive. Like all this school and whatever, like, nah, like I'm gonna kind of just deviate from this just because I know I'll probably be cooler, quote unquote, if I do it. You feel a little bit of pressure like that to just be like, yeah, like let me be on the outside. Let me just do the shit that we're not supposed to be doing or whatever, you know, even though you kind of knew it was wrong or whatever.
Yeah, I think like that a little bit. And then I also was just trying to run away from my like feeling so much as a young kid.
Yep.
Like I definitely did have some things happen to me as a young kid from immediate, not like immediate, I shouldn't say that. Some cousins had done something to me and stuff like that that really like hurt me and broke me as a young child. And I never spoke about these things.
Yeah.
So like I really just tried to drown myself in the bottle and in the other stuff as even like 13, 14 years old. And like, I didn't know at the time how to cope with these feelings and emotions for sure. And like the only people that I really thought got me were like the crowd that I was hanging out with.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, so you were kind of like, it was escapism, right? You know, you were looking to numb the feelings. I get that, bro. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. At what point, or, you know, and you can go into this as much or as little as you want, but at what point were you kind of like, hey, because I know you from outside of social media, I know you from recovery, right? Mm-hmm. And like, at what point were you just sort of like, hey, my life is just fucked. Like, I got to change it. Or were there many points?
There were so many different points.
Run me through a little bit of it, bro.
Okay, yeah. I mean, when I was like 16 years old was like the first time my life had became like completely unmanageable. Like all the drinking and the drugging was like fully taking my life over. And I landed myself in the psych ward for the first time at 16 years old. And, you know, that was like 3 weeks of like pure blacked out. And like, I just remember being completely blacked out in the head. And I like, and I'm talking like, not like figuratively, like, or whatever. Like, I'm seriously, like, I can't control my mind or body.
Do you have any memories of that time period?
No, like 3 weeks of that, and I went to the hospital, and, you know, I thought really nothing of it. A lot of crazy things happened there, and when I got out, and as soon as I started feeling okay again, it was like nothing. I went right back to it. Like, I just went right back to the shit I was doing before. So like 16 years old, life's completely unmanageable, and like, but I kind of bounced back really quick, like with the psychiatrist and stuff like that. And then I go on with life again for another like 3 years. And at 19 years old, I land myself in a psych ward again, and like it's that feeling of blacked out and like that scary feeling, bro. Like this time, I remember at 19, like I'm in there for another three and a half weeks, and like for 3 weeks straight, like I can't feel nothing though. Like
Are they keeping you like medicated on shit because you're coming off of stuff? Or?
Yeah, I mean, they're doing what they have to do to try to get you to get. I was full blown manic, so like I couldn't feel my mind, my body, like I couldn't feel nothing. And like for the first time in my life, I feared like the path I was going down, and like the things that I was doing was really gonna mess me up. And like the biggest thing I definitely cared about more, I could say, and I'm glad I did, was that like I cared more about my mental sanity rather than like the drink and the drugs.
Yeah.
And like I was when I got out of the psych ward that time, like I was super scared, and like I got super frightened because like that blackout state of mind was probably the scariest like thing that has ever happened to me in my life. Like I didn't even put a drug or drink in me, but I'm blacked out.
Weird.
Like from life. So I mean, when I got out of the hospital that time, like I did like have a little bit of a hope shot where I tried finding God and things like that. And I went a couple months not doing anything, drinking or drugging, and it's just like as soon as I started feeling better again, this selfishness and self-centered Antonio just came back.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm gonna do what I want to do when I want to do it, and like, cause I know I'll be fine. I can handle this stuff, right? And yeah, I went right back to it, and I went back to it for another 3 years after that.
Damn, dude. So, and you know, like that's the crazy thing. We talk about the cunning, baffling nature of addiction, but like I've often heard people say, like, watch out for when things are good. It's like, for me, I was always like, oh man, like I hit my knees because like everything's going wrong, man. God, please help me.
Yeah.
But like when it's good, I'm like, damn, I'm a man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I really relate to that, bro.
Because I start to take control again.
That's when we're really at risk, right? Okay, so you're out there, you're running and gunning for another 3 years.
Yeah, I guess I'll finish with your original question. Yeah, so it was like another 2 years to be exact, like from 19. And yeah, around 20 years old, I just couldn't do it anymore. Like, really, life had become unmanageable. I mean, I remember I was so sick from the stuff. I don't like using certain terms. I'm trying to stay a little professional, but I was super sick from the things that I was doing that I couldn't even get up off of my couch to go get more. And I ended up finding courage and willingness to get myself into rehab. And I made my first trip to a rehab at 20 years old. And I was there for about like 30 days. Yeah, like 35 days. And, things, I really got like a sense of like recovery, and it gave me a lot of hope. But like I only got like, I only really got encouraged by like seeing the materialistic things that people got from being sober. Yeah. And like I kind of ran off of that for another like month and a half when I got out, and I came back to Pittsburgh, and on February 6th, 2023, I believe. Yeah, February 6th, 2023 is my birthday. I went out and I like did okay all night, and then I went to the club and I drank again. And I shit you not, the next 3 weeks of my life was like the worst, like but just specifically with like the substances, was like the worst 3 weeks of my life. Like my life had become so unmanageable in such a short period of time. Like, because before, like, it was like 13 years old to 20, like it took for my life to, really
hit that.
Yeah. And like in 3 weeks I lost, everything. And it wasn't even materials I lost, just like hope.
Yes.
And like, I felt so drained, and like I couldn't not pick up the first one.
Crazy, right?
You know what I mean?
And that's another thing, like we hear stories about a lot of times, like people can go through even years of like white knuckle, like I'm not doing drugs or whatever, or using or whatever, and then like you start and you have that first one and you end up back to like the depths of the darkest place, and some in like you speed run that shit, right? Yep. And that was my experience too. Like the last run that I had some time. I had like 8 months. Went back out in like January. This was January 2020, and then I didn't get sober until March. But like that last little time, I was like, dude, I was kicked out of my apartment. I was. I didn't want to go see my parents because I was so embarrassed. My sister, who I totally took advantage of, was like, you can sleep in my basement. I got, I lost my job. Like it was just like the consequences were kind of starting to stack up. And I was like, dude, I can't do this anymore. So what was your kind of like.
That breaking point?
Yeah.
Yeah, so on March 2nd of 2023, after that 3 weeks, that's about like 3 weeks after my birthday, 3.5, whatever. I remember I'm out from the morning to the night, and I just can't stop, and I'm searching for this stuff. I get it and I do it. And for the first time in my life, like I felt this sense of powerlessness, and like I felt it while being in active powerlessness.
It's the worst, right?
And I'm like, and I do all of it. It's all gone. And I walk over into my bathroom, and I look at myself in the mirror, and like for the first time in my life, I say to myself, I'm a and whatever, and I'm a fucking junkie, and I'm a fucking alcoholic. That's what I said. I'll keep it real on here.
Yeah.
And I said I'm a fucking junkie, and I'm a fucking alcoholic, and I can't do this anymore. Like I'm so powerless, and I don't know how to stop. And from that bathroom, I walk over into my living room and I look and I sit on the corner of my couch and I get on I call my mom. Actually, it was the first thing I did. I call my mom and I'm like, "Ma, I fucked up again." And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm doing it all again, da 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 da.
Yeah.
And she was like, "I don't know what to tell you," and hangs up the phone.
Yeah, you ran out of that shit, bro.
And
like
my heart heart dropped, bro. I'm like that was the first time like my mom,
you're a mama's boy, right?
Yeah.
Like that's 100%.
Everyone's mom's like their first love, but like she was told not to deal with that
not
shit
to
no
enable
more.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like for the first time she didn't. And I remember I got on my knees that night and I prayed and I said, "God, please remove this obsession from me when I wake up. God, please remove this obsession from me when I wake up." And on March 2nd at 10 a.m., that was at 4 a.m. On March 2nd at 10 a.m., I woke up and I was fully relieved. Like, I don't know.
No way, bro. Did you have to go back to rehab again?
I just went.
No way, bro.
Nah.
That is so cool. See, like, man, that's amazing.
I just started kicking it, man. I just started kicking it.
You started living the program,
Yeah.
and being active and doing all the things. I gotta say, like,
I remember I woke up, that bottle and that stuff next to me. I threw it in the fucking trash and I just ran with it, dude. I was
That's
like,
crazy,
I couldn't, dude.
man.
I couldn't take it no more.
And
For the first time, I like realized how powerless like this shit took a hold
sure,
of my life.
dude. And you know what? You know what's crazy? In a way, I look back at my experience and like the last time that I was using, it sounds really crazy, but I'm almost glad that I was so messed up in that state because that's when I called my dad. Like, I feel like if I wasn't completely speeding out of my mind, I probably wouldn't have called anybody. I probably would have been like, "Ah, fuck, I'll deal with this tomorrow."
Yeah.
But I was literally like, I felt like my heart was gonna explode or something. I thought I was gonna die or some shit. I'm freaking out. I called my dad. I told him, like, this is what I just did. Like, I really need to go to rehab. Because at that point in time, I had gone to meetings and stuff, but I hadn't really ever committed. So, but it takes, the weird point I'm trying to make is sometimes, like, you have to be, like, in it to realize, like,
Yep.
you know how they
Yeah.
say, like, when you do, like, you try to get, you're going to, you know, to help somebody that's going through it, like, you want to get them committed to something in that moment. Don't give them time to think on it because they might change their mind, right?
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that was like really like at that point where I was at, because like I definitely had hope whenever I went and tried getting help the first time, and like I sensed like a little bit of what my life could be like if I didn't do this shit.
Yeah.
You know, and then whenever I ran back to it, like that 3 weeks back out, I really realized like, fuck, dude, like I can't do nothing. I can't have nothing if I'm doing this.
Yes,
Like
yes.
I can't be of service to nobody. I can't show up for nobody in my life if like I'm prioritizing the bottle.
Right.
You know.
Now, so I got a little story too. Like, like I said, I met Antonio here like through recovery, and I gotta say, like, you know, he walks the walk. I had a service obligation come up, and I wasn't able to make it. I was out of town, and I hit him up last minute, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll be there." So like, how do you go from fucking degenerate, right, to like to now? I mean, when we're not even to the bodega, right? But like, how did that shape you that next day when you're like, bro, I gotta set this down and I gotta like serve other people? How did that?
I took suggestions from people who knew better than me,
Yep.
and who I saw and who I prided, like who I not prided, but like wanted to be like, right?
Yeah, bro.
And these were like legit people really doing stuff in their lives, like really changing their lives. And then ultimately from that point on, like I'm taking the suggestions, and it's not me, and that's what I'm about to get to right now. Like God could and would if he were sought, and every single day I turn my life and my will and my life over to the care of God.
Yep.
And from taking the suggestions and learning how to do that, like I have to every single day then turn my will and my life over to the care of God. And
Yep.
like I feel today in my life that it really isn't me. I'm showing up, and God's meeting halfway. We're meeting each other halfway. You know
That's
what
so
I mean?
cool, bro. Yeah. No, I feel that. So it's a daily thing, one day at a time. Now, at what point, like, you know, you started to have a different mind, a new mind, we might say, right? At what point did you start to think like, what were you doing in your life outside of that at that point? Were you like, I don't know what I want to do for work? Like, what was going on?
Oh, so like how did the store come to play?
Yeah, how did the store come to play? Because I know you have
So-
multiple things. Like you do the vending stuff. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, so actually, like, while I was in rehab, I'm like a week in, and my best friend's dad is calling me. And he was like, hey, it just hits me with like, hey, I really think I got something that would be good for you when you came home. He was like, there's this space open down below in my building, and like I would love for you to come check it out. Like go see the landlord and check it out. And I say to him, I'm like, dude, I can't even go a day without picking a fucking drink up.
Yeah, right.
You want me to go
open a business? Yeah.
I'm like,
no way.
I'm fucked up right now.
Yeah.
I think nothing of it, right?
Yeah, you're like chill on that for right now.
Like a week or two goes by, he calls me again while I'm in there. He's like, hey, dude, like I really think you need to be here. He's like, I would love to see your face every time I come to work.
That's so funny.
I was like, all right, man. Like, I don't know. I was like, call my mom or something. Like,
yeah.
I was like, I don't know.
You hit him with the call my mom, bro.
I'm in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm in Florida too. Like, I'm not even like, I'm like, bro, I am like outside the world right now. I don't even know what's going on.
I got you.
So anyways, I come home from rehab, and within like 2 weeks of being home, actually, I went and I checked the space out, and I talked to the landlord. I told him like everything that was going on with my life at the time. And this dude, awesome, amazing dude, ends up taking the chance.
Yeah, you kept it real with him, and it paid off.
Yeah, I kept it real with him, and it definitely, yeah, man, God was working in my life and doing for me what I couldn't do for myself, for sure. And yeah, I end up getting the space, signing, and everything. And I ended up messing up, like I talked about on March 2nd. Like I already had the space,
right?
And I relapsed and everything.
Yeah. And now was the space open? Like No,
not open. No.
So back up 1 second. So like he was like, man, like, were you making sandwiches? Were you doing catering? Like, how did he connect the dots of like, I think Tony would like have a sick convenience store with great food. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
So my family's been in small businesses our whole lives.
Okay.
Between like a couple pizza shops, we have Bellisario's Pizza up in West Mifflin, Giovanni's, like these are cousins of mine, and then my immediate family, and Mama Meatballs in Turtle Creek, and then my immediate family had a market in South Point, Merante Brothers Market. So like I was always in small business field. My mom's a cook, and sandwiches wasn't necessarily the thing, but my best friend's dad knew I was a hustler.
Yeah.
Like I always had something of my own business going on, whether I was selling my clothing brand. I had a clothing brand in high school. I sold shoes, like stuff along those lines. I did.
No, me too. I used to sell sneakers too. Yeah. Okay.
So like he knew, like my best friend's dad knew I have the vibe, the energy.
You were an entrepreneur.
Yeah, like the face for it. So he just knew, and that's what came of that.
So then you open the store and you're thinking like,
well, I'm like, while I'm renovating, I'm fucked up still. So I'm renovating the space, and then, God willing, what I already talked about on March 2nd happens. I end up getting, that, and that's my date today. That's my sobriety date today. And I opened April 24th of 2023. So I end up opening the space with like a little over a month sober.
So you're speed running that whole experience, bro. That's crazy. So
and it's all happening so quick. Like,
okay.
But I'm just pounding recovery while it's
yes, yes.
I'm like, I need to,
all the be active meetings, all that stuff. Yeah. And so when you first, had the idea, was it originally like, I'm going to be a bodega that's going to make sandwiches and all that, or was it just like, I'm just going to do convenience, like items? Like, how did you think that up?
So it was just originally a mini mart, and then we were going to just grill out front and do like one little lunch special during every day. Like that was the original idea of it. And like when I first started, like I was taking so much time, like closing early or like opening late, like to be okay mentally and stuff, right? And but yeah, at the beginning, it wasn't necessarily, it wasn't a bodega. So 6 months into the business, I took a trip to New York City, and I have family there, and I went with a friend who has family there, and he shows me around a couple of his family's bodegas, and I was like, I come home motivated.
Because dude, that culture, first of all, I gotta say, I love New York City. I like to spend time in like the Lower East Side. There was this little bodega, and this was my experience, bro. We were staying at this hotel. This is like around like Nolita area, Lower East Side, and there was this little bodega, and every day I would walk in there and get a breakfast sandwich, and by like I was there for a week. I was tattooing for 3 days.
Yeah.
By like the third day, the guy's like, "Oh, papi, yeah, I was like, dude, like this is amazing. Like this, like it was like family. Like I had this routine, you know.
Yeah.
So like you felt that, I'm sure. So you were like, I kind of want to bring that back. Is that was
Yeah,
what
and
you
I
were
definitely
thinking?
felt like the food side of it too, like the bacon, egg, and cheese, the chopped cheese, like, and all this like stuff at the time. Like bodegas in New York City were getting like heavily mentioned on social media at the time too.
Yeah.
Like the Aki way, all that shit is getting like heavily mentioned at the time. And like before that, before I even heard that slogan, my slogan was already the Tony way.
It was already Little Tony's.
Yeah, like
the
the name of the business, and then my slogan was already the Tony way.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, this would be sweet with like, I was like, I need to start selling food. I need to start selling like fresh, made to order breakfast sandwiches.
Yes.
So I talked to my mom. We get it, written up. We talk to the health department. We get it all through within like days, like weeks.
And it's so nice, bro. I'm sure like you had a huge advantage because Mama D had she's a chef.
Yep.
Like she was like, okay, she probably helped you with the menu and
Oh,
figuring
yeah.
all that out.
So
right?
I brought like just classic, like what you would have on breakfast.
At
like,
a bodega, yeah.
My breakfast menu and my lunch menu is actually all like mine.
Oh,
Like,
nice,
that's my
dude.
idea. And then my mom runs her specials every like throughout the week. So Monday through Friday, she has a different special that she's came up with for the store throughout the week.
Cool,
And then like
okay.
bacon, egg, and cheese, sausage, egg, and cheese, steak, egg, and cheese, double egg and cheese. That's me. And the lunch menu's on me, like the cheesesteak, burgers, dogs.
Got it. Okay. So you're like, hey man, I want to like start making sandwiches, and right away, like, did it kind of? Because I've been following along, but like, did it kind of like take off right away, or was it a weird learning curve? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, my mom definitely helped me learn like cooking and like little critiques of stuff. Like, yeah, I know how to slap a sandwich together, but like, how do I put that love into it?
Yes,
you know, and
make it different.
Yes, and my mom's teaching me stuff like that. Wow, because she's working next to me. You know, she's teaching me stuff like that, and like just really just came with progression. Like as I kept doing it, I kept seeing how I could do this better, how I could put this together. You know, and like simple things as like assembling too. Like, how do I want to assemble this sandwich? Like, for it to be eaten the best way. And like, as I'm doing it, eating my own food, I'm learning like the best way to put a sandwich together.
Like, I want to wrap it this way.
Yeah.
And you got those crazy cross sections that look, I mean, it's like it's like food porn, bro. You open it up, it's like, damn, like it's so, it's all stacked in there and it's not going to fall apart when you bite into it
Yeah,
and that
that's
stuff.
like the whole thing, like in the vibe with like, you know, people wanting to come to Little Tony's. Like, it's the experience. Like, walking in this place is an experience. You're not just coming for a great sandwich, because you are. Some people do just come for that, right?
Right.
But like, some people come to experience this vibe in here, and like, there's just this like feeling when you walk into our store, dude. Like, it's home.
Yep.
Like, it's home. If you take it in as home, it's home, and
Right.
it's love. And like and even if I'm in a bad mood, bro, like when I'm making a sandwich, and like it's me or my mom, like, and that's what's so cool about our intimate space that we have right now, is like it's us, and like we want that sandwich to be good for you.
It's very personal. It's not
Yeah.
like, hey, bro, I trained some guys who were here
Yeah.
for 8 hours a day to chef this shit up. No, like you're putting it in. Yeah, I get that, dude. And so, like, I guess when your business is in a, you know, a big skyscraper downtown, like, were most of your your customers coming in, they were just like working in the building? Like, when did it start to take on its own life, like with social media? Or was that like, hey, bro, I got to hustle it harder to get our word out there? Or is that when the social media, like?
Yeah, so we're in the Mitchell building downtown, right next to Mitchell's Pub, and there's like, I would say at least like 70 people that work in the actual building in itself, and then maybe more than that, honestly. I don't know the exact amount. But I didn't I had a little business, like Little Tony's Mini Mart PGH. I had it up and running, but I didn't start like, I would like still post my slogan and like videos of me making a sandwich sometimes when people would come in, and I would post it probably like within the first year. But what, you were going on 3 years now. So I would say like the last year and a half, not even actually, bro. It's been like 7 months. Like 7 months, I dug deep with it, man. And I just started, I don't know.
You started grinding.
Inspired. Yeah, I really got inspired, and I just started posting. But like when I post a post, like I post it with like I don't know, like I have to have a good feeling behind it when I'm posting it. Like I'm not posting this for attention, for da 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 da. Like I have my heart into it when I'm hitting post. If
Yeah,
that
yeah.
makes sense.
That makes sense.
And
because it doesn't feel forced, bro. Like that's
Yeah.
another thing. Like like I said, I open up the podcast saying like, you know, Antonio is a really positive person. I mean, it's infectious, right? And that's what I like about your social media posts. Like you can see that because I feel like I've talked about this on the podcast with another guest. Like you can tell when people are like, hey, I got to get 4 posts out this week, so let me just churn out content. And it feels like soulless, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't feel that with you. So it's like, how do you keep yourself motivated?
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, so I feel like when it comes to my content and what I'm doing is, and this is what I hear from others, and this is how I feel about my content as well, is it's genuine. I am not acting. Like you're not watching a video that was like, yo, we're gonna do this, or yo, act this out. Like it's never that. Like it's like we're just in this scene. Yo, get a video of me making a sandwich right now. Yeah. I look at the camera, I'm like, hey y'all, it's the Tony way or no way, da da da, and people feel that. Just
the
like
Tony way or no way, baby.
Yeah, like people feel that, just like you said, you can feel that, and like
dude,
it's genuine. Like I'm not acting like, hey, let me or like, yo, I'm gonna say it this way, make sure, and then clipping shit. I don't.
Yeah,
clip nothing.
yeah.
I don't clip it. Like I just.
It's raw. It's real time. Yeah. I get it, bro. So I guess the other thing too then is like with social media, like if you have, because I've seen like you guys were just on the news, like it's rolling, it's steamrolling, man, and it's really exciting. Like what advice do you have for people out there who are small business owners, or maybe they're not small business owners, maybe they're just like, hey man, like this is really genuine stuff, like I think I have something. Would you say like just find what you are passionate about, be yourself? Is that what you would say is successful on social media?
Find a niche, but and like, bro, to be honest, like the social media, cool, right? Whatever. Find a niche, but treat people good.
Yeah.
Like these things aren't like, sure, the social media is getting talked about, but like real life time, people are leaving the storefront and talking good about us in public. Like things are being talked about in, when people are at the bar, when people are at whatever, they're saying like, yo, Tony's sandwich was fire earlier. Like he was. And
it's such a cool space, and like the vibe's so positive. Yeah.
So it's like when it comes to advice is I think like where people sell themselves short is just like being more personable with their clientele. So like I try to be super personable with my clientele and build a relationship with them. I'm not no bougie da 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 da. You can get my phone number. I could see you, It's like, and I just try to be super personable with my clientele and like in that certain aspect. You know what I mean?
Of course, bro. You're just being a real guy, and like and then that way, because I feel like sometimes when people, especially, and you'll notice this, bro. Like as you pick up steam and continue to build, like sometimes people will meet you, and they're like, "Oh, bro, you're like," and you're like, "I'm just Tony." You know what I mean? Like I just know, hey man, like this is who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like don't put me on some pedestal. You know what I mean? Like,
I remember I was at Sheets last night, and this kid's looking at me, bright eyes like this, and I'm like, "What's up, bro?" And he was like, "The Tony way."
The Tony way. Let's go, dude.
I'm like, what's
Ain't
up?
that cool though, right?
I dapped him up, and I was like, "What's your name, man?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like, and just chopped it up, and it's like, it's cool, but yeah, I just like, I don't think about anything like that. Like we're just we're just running a business, and this is the new way of marketing, but it hasn't even like, it didn't like start like that for me, as in like, this is how I'm gonna, I kind of just like, I've started to really fall in love with what I do, and like for the first couple like some like in and out, my heart wouldn't be in it, and like the last like year, my heart has just like truly been in what I'm doing, and like I've noticed how I can push this love and this positivity onto other people through social media.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So I guess then like my next question was gonna be like, being that you have so many people in and out the door, have you found yourself like making like personal friendships with any like other regulars? Like I don't know. For example, I love old people, man. I think they have great stories. I'm a huge history guy. So like anytime I have like, throughout my life, I've had like several, I guess you could call them mentors or whatever. And they were just these old guys, and I would just kind of chop it up with them because they were just really interesting to me. Have you had any stories like that? Like people that are like, man, like this guy comes in here all the time, you learn a little bit more about him, and they're like regulars at this point?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It definitely is people like that. Specific stories, like I don't know, but I got my morning, Sandy, Mary, Ray. You know, I got all these morning guys that come every morning. I mean, I could name Brian. I know the whole block's like, I know the whole block's name.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And we all are building a relationship every single day. Like if they need something outside of the store, they'll text me, yo, Tony, like, do you like maybe for a suggestion, and I'll text them. I'm like, hey, what's going on around the area you live in? You know, if I realize something. So yeah, personal relations I've definitely been able to build with my everyday regulars and stuff like that.
Cool.
I think that's been really cool being able to do that. And then like some young guys recently, actually, if that's like more recently, the college kids who come in from Duquesne, they're like, they walk in one day and they ask me, I don't know how it came up, or I asked them, where like bowling came up. And I'm a huge bowler.
Nice.
I love the bowl.
He's wicked with the bowling, bro.
I got a couple balls in my own shoes and everything. And I asked them, and they're like, bro, we bowl. We bowl, bro. And I'm like, oh, we bowl. So now me and these kids the last like 4 months have been going bowling like
That's awesome, bro. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And then,
yes.
And it's fun.
Who are you? I am. Yo, that guy's fire. What's that? That guy is a dog.
His name?
I don't know, but they need to make a fucking movie about that guy, right?
He's a beast.
That guy is such a beast, bro. Now that's cool, man. Okay, so you got little Tony's, you got the bodega going. I saw that you also get into some catering and stuff. Like, is that something that you're doing on your own, like with your mom, with your family's business? Like, what is that looking like?
Yeah, we're doing, me and my mom do that. We'll rent out kitchens. Obviously, we don't have a full-blown kitchen where we're at. So we'll rent out kitchens and we'll cook food for catering events. We'll do buffet style. We'll do full service. Really where we're at with it, it's hard to do full service, but like for people we're really close with, not even really close with, but like, you know, certain clients we'll do full service for. But yeah, we have a catering menu. It's available in the store.
Mm-hmm.
It's available on my Instagram. And sorry, I need a drink.
Oh yeah, take a sip, bro. You're good.
But
at the shop, what's the most popular? What's the go-to? Like if I'm first time customer and I walk in and say, yo, Tony, what do I get off the menu? Like, what are you gonna tell me to get?
So if it's breakfast time, like I'm gonna ask you first. This would be my question. You want something light or you eating?
Yeah.
If you want something light, I'm gonna tell you to get a bacon, egg, and cheese. If not, I would suggest I'm so biased to all my breakfast sandwiches. Like for me, mine is bacon, egg, and cheese. Like when I eat my own food in the morning, when I want to eat breakfast, I usually don't. I eat a bacon, egg, and cheese. So like my first answer will always be bacon, egg, and cheese. But if not, then I suggest steak or sausage. The sausage, okay. They're all like I just can't.
Yeah,
I can't suggest because all my customers say stuff different. So like this is what I learned from my customers. Like I got my dailies for sausage, egg, and cheeses. Yeah. They like it because it fills them up till dinner. They don't eat again at work.
Yeah.
Like a sausage is real big. The bacon, it's the same amount of meat, but it's more light. You know?
Yeah. Bacon. I get you. And then you guys do the cheesesteaks, right? Like stuff like that.
Lunch.
Yeah. Okay. And
for lunch, I would suggest a Tony's cheesesteak, 100%. Peppers, onion, mushroom with the cheese sauce, or you just get it steak and cheese sauce. It's banging.
Boom. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. As a sandwich kingpin, have you done a lot of R&D of your own? Like have you ever been to like Philly, like tried cheesesteaks out there? Like, Or like when you go to New York, are you like looking at shit like, oh man, I could incorporate this into the, you know what I mean? Like, are you kind of thinking like that a little bit?
Yep. So like when New York City, like concept of a bacon, egg, and cheese, I wanted to make my own style. That's why I make mine, but I use different bread than they use out there. And then with the cheesesteak, I might cause problems by saying this. I tried Geno's and Pat's, the like staples of Philly, and I was like, I can make a better sandwich than this.
Yeah, bro. No, I don't think that's controversial, bro. If you've been to Philly, like I went to school in Philly,
but like Angelo's, amazing cheesesteak. Then I tried other cheesesteaks in Philly. And
you ever tried D'Alessandro's?
No.
It's in North Philly, bro. That's like the North Philly staple. It's like people will say it's such a contentious battle, but people will be like, oh, that D'Alessandro's is the best one. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna die on that hill, you know?
Yeah, but like I seen what Geno's and Pat's did with what they're selling, and I'm like,
okay. Yeah, all right.
I'm like, what's up?
What's up? Yeah, no, I get you.
But
bro,
like
100%.
I also do tell that was inspiration back to your question, but I try to explain to people my cheesesteak is not a Philly. Don't affiliate it with Philly. It's a Tony's cheesesteak. This is my own craft. This is my own sandwich, my own hoagie. I don't affiliate.
So it's not a Philly cheesesteak.
No,
it's different.
Yes, it's Tony's cheesesteak, and that's it. Like, and people will try to controverse with me and da 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 da. I call my sandwich a Tony's cheesesteak.
Tony's cheesesteak.
And that's what it is. So
now, walk me through a little bit of, because I know on your page I saw this, like you talk a little bit about the ingredients, why it makes it a cut above, like you guys get the fresh bread. Like what are some of the things you're doing there that are like, you can say like, hey man, that's good quality stuff. Like
fresh bread every single morning and love, dude. Love.
And you get that from Pittsburgh? You get the bread from...
Breadworks. Breadworks from Pittsburgh. I always shout Breadworks out. In a lot of my videos, I shout Breadworks out.
Are they in the Strip District?
We use a lot of great products from Pennsylvania Macaroni,
Okay.
Penn Mac.
Yep.
We go down there a they're in Brighton. Breadworks is in Brighton.
Okay.
Brighton, they got like a little warehouse and a factory over there.
Okay.
Or closer to like Lawrenceville, I would say.
Okay.
But I get it. I don't go. They bring it every morning.
Yeah, they deliver it, right?
And I think without giving too much sauce away.
Yeah, of course, bro.
We put love into it.
Yeah.
And marinades and seasonings definitely count heavily in food. And I notice when I go to places, franchises and stuff like that, and like what I've noticed the most in Pittsburgh specifically is I cannot find a burger that has good seasoning unless I'm going to Smash and Fried or the Brinery. You know, those are two like smash burgers that I love, absolutely.
Are you doing smash burgers at your joint?
No.
Okay, but it's kind of the same process. Like the grill is a flat top grill, so all your stuff's gonna be seasoned in that manner. Okay, I got it.
But like I find that hard that I'm just like I'm not getting like so much flavor in certain sandwiches. I know.
Kind of just like ground beef.
Yeah.
With oil.
With lettuce, tomato on top.
Yeah, bro.
And I'm like, what's going on?
I know. I feel that, bro. I do. I love a good burger, man. So, a couple other things I wanted to discuss. What's in the works? You know, I know you like really kind of put your head down, nose to the grindstone with the content. Like, what's in the works for Little Tony's Mini Mart? Like, do you have? You just want to keep grinding it out at this location? Have you thought about new menu items? Anything exciting, like goals for 2026? Like, dude, stuff like that.
If I just am being completely honest, I just show up.
Mm-hmm.
I just show up, and like I truly believe in God's timing in my life today, and like I feel how I try to interline how God would have me be in my life today, and I do take it day by day. Like the content and everything, bro. Like I do stuff and I make it while I'm at work. I go home right before I go to bed. I try to edit some stuff.
Yep.
I post it the next day. Like it's not
pretty straightforward.
Yeah, and then like when it comes to like business aspects and like goals for the future, like I'm just waiting to see what God has in store for me.
Okay, right on, man.
But I am working on stuff.
You are working.
Okay, yeah.
My man's an entrepreneur. He's active, bro.
Yeah.
This is like, listen, this is one thing I definitely, first time I met you, I was like, you can sense when somebody I don't know if it's like ADHD. I'm ADHD as hell. But like, I'm just very hyperactive. Like, I mean, even with this podcast, like I was like, dude, I have such cool conversations with people. Like, I gotta bottle this up and share it with people. Cause it's like, tattoos are cool, man. I love tattoos. It's beautiful art. Tattoos to me are like your sandwich, right? Like you put the craft into it. But like the beauty of it is the interaction that we have with people. Like that's what keeps me interested in this job day in and day out, is like the conversations, like, you know, the connections, the friendships, you know? Speaking of that, people, do you have any wild stories of shit? Cause you're downtown, bro.
Yeah.
Like anything off the top of your head that's like, whoa, like
Yeah, I mean, I could
just
think-
funny or worthy of sharing that would be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going into work one day. I park my car out front. I walk out. I set my sign out. And as I'm walking back in the store, like my sidewalk sign, as I'm walking back in, this dude just tackles my sign over. Like, just tackles it over.
Like football linebacker.
Yeah. I walk outside and I look at him. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, you got a fucking problem? He's like, huh? And then runs away. And I was like, bro, what?
What the
I
hell?
look at him. I'm like, bro, what? And then like, and it's always just like it's so weird how it works downtown. Like for me and my small business, I don't know about you other guys with small businesses. I'm sure you deal with it if you're downtown as well. Yeah. Like there's certain people, they'll give you a problem for a few weeks. And like you'll tell them you can't hang around, you can't be around, but then they just keep coming back. Yep. Like they want to apologize, and it's just like, brother, once you do too much, you do too much.
Yes.
A week ago, this guy, or 2 weeks ago, this guy walks in with another food from another business.
Yeah.
But like, cool, I don't care because I'm also a convenience store.
Yeah.
But you're eating it. Like he has his fork in it, eating it in my store. He's a little messed up, drops the food all over my
yeah.
And I'm like, when
now
that
I gotta
happens,
clean this up.
I got people and I'm busy. I'm like, bro, just get out. Like,
Yeah.
I'll clean it up. Please get out. Like, I don't want you here.
Yeah.
He still, to this day, keeps coming back every day. And I'm like, how do I get this guy?
Dude,
do I need to serve this guy a paper saying he can't be here? And it's not like that wasn't like, you know, the ending point. He's obviously done a little other things that is off the rails, but like stuff like that. And it's like, I deal with a little bit of crazy things like that every day. If you're talking about like negative,
of course,
crazy things.
Now, how do you stay? I mean, I think I already know the answer, but like positivity wise, like sometimes, I don't know, man, like when we see people that are really going through it, or like, you know, we're in Southside, bro. I have tons of stories, right? But like when you see people that are going through hard times, like how do you stay positive and keep that positivity and try to like bring that to the space around you?
I'm like for me personally, like 100% prayer and meditation, and like trying to always remember, like, even when I'm not okay and like I mess up and I talk to people a certain way, like I heavily believe in God's will in my life today. But like outside of just that, like I get depressed, bro. Like I go home some nights and I'm not the happiest all the time. But like I can motivate myself in ways today to stay positive, and I can look, like once I get in that mindset, and like now, you know, before I never had this. But like today in my life, I can look and I'm like, what do I have to be grateful for? I have, if it's one thing and there's like 10 negative things going on, I'll just overpower my feelings with the one grateful thing. You know? And just be like, I can work towards that. I'm grateful for that. I'll run with that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And like I just try to find the positives and overpower them with the negatives. It doesn't matter if there's 10 negatives, one positive will overpower it. Like I try my best.
Absolutely, bro. Hell yeah, dude. I think I'm just excited to follow the journey, man. I'm excited to get some breakfast sandwiches, bro. And I'm glad you got to kind of chop it up. Tell me a little bit about your story. The tattoo's coming along quite well, I would say. Got a little bit more to go, but dude, thank you for coming and chopping it up with me and having this conversation.
Thanks for having me, bro. And, thanks for talking to me.
Yeah, dude. This guy's cool, man. We're gonna be cutting it up more, but I appreciate you guys listening in. And we'll catch you on the next episode of Tattoo Table Talk. Let's give them the Tony way or no way.
My man, thank you, Mart.
Thank you, bro.